It is 11:43 at night. You are sitting in a room you used to share with your brother. The wallpaper hasn't changed. The carpet still has that stain from when you knocked over the soda in 2007. Your phone is face down on the desk. You haven't looked at it in 47 minutes because if you look at it again, you will have to accept that the number is real. The ticket is in your jacket pocket. You checked it 6 times at the gas station, 4 times in the car, twice more when you walked through the front door and your mother asked if you'd eaten. You said yes. You hadn't. The house is quiet now. Everyone is asleep. You are not the joke anymore. You don't know what you are. Level 1. The ticket. You bought it on a Tuesday. That detail will matter later when people ask. You will remember the day of the week before you remember the numbers. It was a Tuesday and you had $12 left after rent and you spent 6 of them on 2 tickets because 1 felt pessimistic and 3 felt delusional. You folded the receipt into your wallet behind the expired insurance card and the library card you never used. You did not think about it again until Saturday. Saturday night. You were eating cereal for dinner because the milk was going bad and you didn't want to waste it. The television was on. The numbers rolled. You did not move. You looked at the ticket. You looked at the screen. You went into the bathroom and sat on the edge of the tub for 20 minutes without turning on the light. When you came out, the cereal was soggy. You poured it down the sink. You did not tell anyone. Not then. Level 2. The verification. You drove to 3 different gas stations before you trusted the machine. The first one said congratulations in a voice too cheerful to mean anything that large. You asked the clerk to check it manually. He scanned it. He looked at you. He scanned it again. He said you needed to go to the state office. He did not smile. You left. The second station's machine was broken. You stood in the parking lot for 8 minutes deciding if that meant something. The third station was the one you bought it from. Different clerks. You handed it to her without speaking. She scanned it. She said, "Oh, just that." You asked her to write down the number. She did. You still have that piece of paper. It is in the same pocket as the ticket. You have touched it 11 times tonight to make sure both are still there. Level 3. The kitchen table. You are staring at your phone. There are people you could call. Your sister. Your oldest friend from high school who moved to Portland. The manager from the restaurant who never thought you'd amount to anything but wasn't cruel about it. You pick up the phone. You open the contacts. You scroll past names that used to mean more than they do now. You stop on your father's number. He answered on the 4th ring last time you called. That was in March. He asked if you needed something. You said no. You said you were just checking in. He said he had to go. You have not called since. You set the phone down. You do not call anyone. Not yet. There is a reason you are waiting, and you will not admit the reason to yourself until the sun comes up. Level 4. The flood. The memories arrive without asking. Your cousin's wedding. 3 years ago. Your uncle asked what you were doing for work. You said you were between things. He nodded the way people do when they are already thinking about the next conversation. Your brother was at the same table. He worked in finance. He talked about his year-end bonus. Your uncle listened. Your aunt asked if you were seeing anyone. You said no. She said there was still time. You were 28. She said it was like a diagnosis. You excused yourself. You sat in your car for the rest of the reception. Your mother called the next day. She said you embarrassed her. She said you could have stayed. You did not argue. You stopped going to weddings after that. Level 5. The plan. You take out a notebook. You have never been good with money, but you understand that this requires a different version of you. You write down the number. You divide it by 10, by 20, by 50. You try to imagine what it looks like in a bank account. You cannot. You think about the apartment you live in. The landlord's name is Mitchell. He texts instead of calling. He raised the rent last year by $140 and you paid it because you had nowhere else to go. You think about leaving. You think about buying a house. You think about your mother's mortgage. She is 63. She works at the same hospital she has worked at for 30 years. You write her name down. You cross it out. You write it again. You close the notebook. You do not know yet what generosity will cost. Level 6. The lawyer. You have never hired a lawyer. You do not know how to find one. You open your laptop. You search for attorneys who handle lottery winnings. There are more than you expected. There are testimonials. There are fee structures. There are warnings about family members and friends who will become strangers in slow motion. You read an article about a man who won $38 million and lost everything in 6 years. You read about a woman who kept working at the same job because she didn't know what else to do. You read about a couple who divorced. You bookmark 9 different websites. You do not call any of them. It is still too early. The ticket is still in your pocket. You are still in your childhood bedroom. The number is real, but you are not ready for it to become real in a way that other people can see. Level 7. The joke. Your brother called you the joke first. You were 16. He said it in front of his friends. You failed your driving test for the 2nd time. He said some people just aren't cut out for things that require coordination. His friends laughed. You did not. Your mother told him to apologize. He did not. You stopped talking to him. For 3 months. When you started again, it was because your mother asked you to, and you could not say no to her then. You still can't. He calls you by your name now, but the joke never left. It lives in the pauses. In the way he introduces you to his colleagues. On the way he offers to pay for dinner. You never let him. You always said you had it. You never did. You think about calling him now. You wonder if he will believe you. You wonder if it will matter. Level 8. The weight of what comes next. You lie down on the bed. The ceiling has the same crack it had when you were 17. You used to trace it with your eyes when you couldn't sleep. You are doing that now. You think about the people who will ask for help. The cousin who needs a car. The friend who mentioned a business idea once while drunk. Your mother's sister who hasn't spoken to you in years but will. You think about the ones who won't ask but will expect. You think about the distance money creates. The space between who you were this morning and who you will be tomorrow. You are not tired. You should be. The ticket is still in your pocket. You take it out. You hold it up to the window. The streetlight makes the numbers glow. You put it back. You think about the family dinners. The holidays. The way your father looks past you when he talks. The way that will change. Or won't. You don't know yet which one you're afraid of. Level 9. The threshold. You hear someone moving downstairs. Your mother. She is always the first one awake. You hear the coffee maker. You hear the television turn on low. You could go down now. You could tell her. You imagine her face. The disbelief. The questions. The part where she cries and you don't know if it's relief or fear or something you don't have a name for yet. You stay in bed. You are not ready. You think about the future. The one where you prove them wrong. The one where you are not the joke. The one where your father shakes your hand and means it. The one where your brother texts you first. You think about whether winning changes the past or just buries it under something shinier. You think about who you will become in the translation. You do not have answers. You have a ticket. You have a number. You have the last few hours of being exactly who you were before the world became something you could buy a piece of. Level 10. The clerk. The gas station is still open. You are parked across the street. The same clerk from earlier is still behind the counter. 3rd shift. You recognize the posture. The way she leans against the register like it's the only thing holding her up. You wonder if she bought a ticket. You wonder if she checked it. You wonder how many people walked in today with hope folded in their pockets and walked out with nothing but the same life they brought in. She is looking at her phone. She does not see you. You watch her for a long time. You do not go inside. You start the car. You drive home. The ticket is still in your pocket. The number is still real. The sun is not up yet. You still have time to be no one. You pull into the driveway. You turn off the engine. You sit. Somewhere in the house your mother is drinking her coffee. Somewhere your brother is asleep in a bed that costs more than your car. You were the joke. You don't know what you are now. The sky is starting to pale. You check the ticket one more time. You get out of the car. You walk to the door. You have not opened it yet.